Sarah, why do you think metadata is so critical in publishing?
Well, let's talk about what metadata is first, right? So metadata is all the data about data. And in this case, we're talking about the data associated with a book. So Graham Bell, who is the executive director of Editor, who owns Onyx, it's a global metadata system, he was saying that people don't find books, they find information about books. So in this digital age, if you are looking for a book on the internet, in a bookstore, all of that falls into classifications based on metadata, which publishers have assigned to these books, right? So believe it or not, most publishers don't even bother filing the basic information about their books, namely author, title, imprint, all publication date. These are the basics that any publisher should submit when they are submitting information out about their books, and yet very few do. And if they do, though, they can expect almost a 98% increase in sales of that book, just for the basic metadata. Then, if you go for your full set of metadata, including reviews, blurbs, author bios, that increases your chances of being found and being sold even more exponentially, right? So it can go from baseline all the way up, up, up. If you can publish a great book, but if no one can find it, it's not going to sell. So you basically have to be sure that you're keeping on top of updating your metadata at every stage of the game, because this isn't a one-off thing. I mean, you guys know as well as I do. You can be working on a book, and how many times does the title change? How many times does the pub date change? If you aren't keeping on top of your metadata, then no one else will be able to keep up with it, and your book will just end up being lost.
What's the best practices in terms of publishers managing and their metadata?
Well, from what I understand, because publishers don't understand the importance of metadata, they tend to either not do it, or they could give it to the least senior person on staff to manage the metadata. So just have the intern plug in some information and see what happens. But that's exactly what you shouldn't be doing. You want the person who knows the most about the book to manage that metadata, because they'll be able to cue into the exact market, the exact comps. They can find the right codes and update those continually to be targeting the right market. So it should belong to the editorial and in fact to the production people to ensure that the right codes are being updated and generated constantly.
But there are really lots of good systems now that do that. And what they do is they operate effectively as a title management system, and allow publishers to update the content very easily, just once, and they will update the classification systems. But they will just automatically update that metadata on whenever you need to, on a daily, weekly basis. I mean, you mentioned there earlier on that that there is the better metadata leads to better book sales. Is that is that just hearsay, or is there any cases about that?
Yeah, there have been the Nielsen studies on metadata. So there was the first one in 2011, which showed that if you use even just your basic metadata, your book sales will be over double what they would have been if you hadn't filled in your proper basic metadata. And that was replicated in 2016 for the same results. So I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's proven and it's consistent. It's just a matter of keeping up on your data as your titles are changing, and as anything comes in. I mean, Graham was saying, give your full bio, give your small bio, give your blurb, give your short blurb. The more data, the better, and the more effective it will be in helping you reach your market.